Hey peeps, I wanted to delve into on DraftKings Reignmakers here, me trying to approximately figure out how many of various cards are available at the current time period, not how many maximum could be available in the future. And I found this a little difficult to estimate. You may know a better way to do it. We'll probably know more obviously when the Thursday and Sunday games come along. But just to give you a quick idea of my estimates, a lot of this starts with the number of superstar packs sold, as well as the number of entries to the Thursday single entry, because a lot of people are using their starter pack to enter that. That may be the only contest they can enter with that. And the superstar pack sold shows the number of people that laid out $10 to get the one card. Now, I looked here at Jalen Hurts and Mahomes, both QB1s. He is a superstar. He is not. He comes in the starter pack, and I don't believe he does. I believe that you get a QB1 in each starter pack, but you can't get a superstar in it. Now, that could be wrong, but just to look at the estimates, okay? The other things I looked at is how many of the booster packs that it currently shows sold, and how many of the Elevate core packs it shows sold. I'm going to assume all the Genesis and Field Pass sold out. This bogs me down trying to explain these calculations here because I'm not 100% confident in myself. But one thing is that there's 33 QB1s, but if you take out the superstars, there's 28. So theoretically, should be a 1 in 28 chance of getting a Hurts out of those packs, assuming they have an equal distribution. Similarly, there's 17 superstars, so it should be a 1 in 17 chance of getting a Mahomes out of that pack. Just as a side note, here's the 5 QBs that are superstars, and here's the 5 that are field passes. And actually, there's a difference between Rodgers and Burrow. Rodgers is one of those, Burrow's one of those. So, regardless of what the numbers say of the total amount of starter and superstar, and the booster, we know like the number of Genesis and Elevate, we know the number of Field Pass. The fact that there's been 11,600 of those sold, and approximately that chance, that tells me there is that many Mahomes out there, roughly. The Genesis, we say, is sold out. The Elevate, this amount. Field Pass sold out. So the starter, what I did was take the chance of getting a QB1 in that times the number that have been sold or given away approximately based on the number of entries into the contest. I came up with that number. That could be off. This number could be off. But the other ones I'm more confident in would be these numbers. So the booster I used, they show a max number on the booster of that many, even though they can do unlimited amounts. So with that one, I took that times the number of the percentage that appears to be sold of the first batch and came up with that. You could also do a number of based on the number of packs sold times the chance of getting QB1. And okay, so that's that. So the two calculations are basically adding those up with that and then adding it up with a higher amount. So somewhere between 2,800 and 3,600 Hurts. And surprisingly, somewhere between 2,800 and 3,600 Mahomes. So the number of superstars, although we are worried because they can do unlimited amounts and they can only use one in each thing, currently there may be, even though he's given away in the starter pack and he's not, by what I understand, similar amounts. And those are pretty low amounts if you think about it. This also shows the number of owners listed on the marketplace under shop and how many are for sale total. So like this shows you that Elevate, I'm estimating there's 800 of them, there's 400 owners. That would mean like average owns 2. There's only 29 for sale. That's really low, which actually sort of lends credence to the concept of there being this low amount out there. Like only 68 Hurts total core cards, 145 Mahomes. This also sort of matches up here because if I'm saying there's been 680 of the superstars, give or take, there's 667 owners. That means not many people have sold their Mahomes superstar. So maybe higher than this, but not a huge amount because there's only 38 for sale. The Genesis has less for sale or less owners, excuse me. And the booster, you can see there. I mean, rough estimates. And if you compare it to where they were yesterday, they sort of match up. There weren't many changes, meaning not a lot of huge supply coming on the market. What this means is if we do say, let's say there are 3,000 of the low supply. So first off, here's the amounts that in the 3 of the bigger core Sunday tournaments, here's the amount of spots that are paid. Just those 3 add up to 26,000. There's also many other contests, including some big ones, or that pay out a good amount of spots. If we say there's only 3,000 of these currently around, you take out the Allen, well, including the Allen, and here you say this is the tier 1 of quarterbacks. Okay, you might even say there's only a 5 tier of quarterbacks. But if you take these 7 and say they're the tier 1 of quarterbacks, that's a total amount of them of 21,000 total. If you take out the Allen because it's in a Thursday game, that means there's 18,000 for the Sunday games. And 3 of those are superstars, by the way, which can limit the number of other lineup stacks down the road. If you want to extend it down and say here's the next tier, you might have a lot smaller one. You might not have Lawrence and 2 on there, etc., etc. But if you say, oh, there's 9 of these, that's 27,000 another supply. But if you take out the ones that are on Sunday and Monday games, showdown games, that's another 5. So there's only 15,000 of those. So what that says, if you trust these numbers, is there can only be 18,000 lineups in the Sunday main slate that have one of these top 6 quarterbacks in it, and they're paying out 26,000 slots. If you include these, we're going down to 33,000, and I don't have the rest of the totals, but I'm pretty sure it's over that. So by having one of these quarterbacks, the max number of these quarterbacks that can be in these contests is 18,000 by that calculation. If you go up to 4,000 available, it goes up. 5,000, it goes up. So if there are 5,000 out there, there can be 30,000 lineups with these 6 quarterbacks, or 35,000 of them total out there. Okay, so it really makes a difference how much the supply is versus how much is paid. And again, I only picked these 3 contests. There's more contests than this. That's the bankroll booster, not buster, as I kept calling it, single entry, and the fiat, which is the big one in terms of cash payouts. Same thing here. And this comes into play when you start looking at what tiers come in more often with running backs and wide receivers, where the chalk is, what are the highest averages to come in. So just give me an idea on that. Just along with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the franchise score. Okay, so, and how much this adds up to. If you look at what the Elevate packs have sold, if you look at what the Superstar packs have sold and the Booster packs, from what they're showing on the site, I'm not aware of any others boosters that were sold outside that or Superstars in any large amount. Of course, Genesis doesn't include Genesis, Reignmaker, and Field Pass, which we are counting as sold out. I just didn't want to go back and look up the data. Anyway, just those 3 alone add up to 2 million. However, DraftKings is guaranteeing 2 million plus in the first week of contests. And this is only on basically core. They are guaranteeing this on core. If you add up what these add up to, if you assume that this means each person that bought one, this means each person who bought one bought approximately 3 booster packs and 2 to 3 Elevate packs, and spent somewhere around $173. If you take $173 and 11,000 entrants, well, they now announced that the franchise score is paying out to 11,000 spots. It was 10,000. This is based on a snapshot from this coming, was it Wednesday? This is sort of like a collector score. And there will be another snapshot later in the year, and there will be other bonuses of it as it goes along. You can check on the website and check their Discord and Twitter for information on this, just like with the Field Pass, check for information. But what this is a reward for people that hold cards. And the big boys are going to get there. You can see, you know, up to 25,000. Down to 200, it only pays 100. Down to 10,000, you get $10. 10 to 11, you get a core Genesis promo pack, which I believe is a 1-card pack from the Genesis set, and you know those can be worth up to 20 plus, but lowest probably $1 or $2. Totals up to 250,000, so they're giving back $250,000 basically. Now, how is this calculated? It's sort of complicated. It doesn't really line up from what I can tell with the dollars spent exactly, which I wish it would more. They've only revealed the top 1,000, partially because, as I'm gathering, there may not have been that many here, and they also don't want to show how low it is for the low ones. But the top one was 250,000, 100th was 16,000, 500 was 3,000, 1,000 was 1,200. If you want to try to come up with an estimate of your own, if you're not on this top 1,000, which they've uploaded a spreadsheet of, from what their website says, core cards are worth 1 point each with a multiplier. Booster gets no multiplier. Elevate gets a 2 times. Genesis gets a 5 times. Field Pass gets a 3 times. They haven't really done any prize or side sets yet. Rare starts at a base of 5 with the multipliers. Elite 25, Legendary 100, Reignmaker 500. Also, rookie cards get a multiplier of 2 times. So I'm assuming if you have a rare Elevate booster, it's worth 20. 5 times 2 times 2. I calculated mine up, and I feel like my total was only maybe half of what I've spent, which would mean that this guy spent 500,000 and this guy spent 2,500. And coming in down around here, if the average person spent 173, then perhaps 10,000 could be 160 or 80. Sorry, 80. That's just a guess. Might be 1 to 200. So the small fry, we may be looking at getting a card back, $10, $15, and as you go up, bigger fry, but obviously this is sort of a race for the top people, and looked like this guy was pretty far out in front. All right, so that's a little breakdown on that. I want to go more into in the next video, probably on break down the showdown game a little more specifically, and also look at sort of like the chalk stacking of players are going to, what kind of values and what tiers you can expect. But this number is probably going to come into play to some degree if you can know how many of them there are out there. I mean, this is all those combined. This is not of one particular one. Again, so like if there's only 2,700 to 3,500 Mahomes, only 2,700 to 3,500 lineups the first week can have Mahomes. So that's kind of interesting information to know and look at. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you next time.